Hi everyone.
Hey.
Welcome to our Facebook Live. I am Heather Paris of liveinspirednow.com. Just getting the computer ready for this. And this is my husband, Thad.
I'm Thad, also of liveinspirednow.com.
So we are, I don't know where, I'm trying to get to our live on the page here. I just refreshed it. So hi, we're here tonight to talk about how to help your kids become less sassy and more yes mammy, yes sirry, and to be a little more, I don't like the word compliant, but let's go with respectful. So again, I'm Heather Paris of liveinspirednow.com, and besides being the owner of this business with my husband, I am also a almost 25-year veteran parent. So we have between us had a hand in raising 10 kids.
Wow. How about that?
10 kids. So I have 3 bio kids. He has 3 bio kids. Together we have 6 kids. And then we've also taken in 4 kids that weren't ours over the years. And, opened our hearts and our homes to them and gave them a little bit of stability when we could. So we have 50 if you combine them, 50 years of parenting experience,
50
right?
years.
So we're here tonight to talk about how the talk is called Less Sass and More Yes Ma'am. So I want to find out where you're watching this from. So wherever you're watching us from live, just put in the comments what state you're in and where you're watching us. Can you also share that to my personal page real quick? Just like share. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. So the first thing that I want to say is, well, first of all, thank you for joining us tonight. And I hope that we will answer your questions, give you some strategies that will help really in your household, help with your kids and your family. And, this is what we do full time. So if you have any questions, feel free to send them over to me in a private message or to Thad. And we're happy to help you with that. And we give free consultations to everybody that watched our broadcast too. If you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, then feel free to leave us a remark in the comments, or you can always email us. Just go to the website, liveinspirednow.com, and all of our information is there. So I want to get right into this. Maybe you're a parent that has a sassy teenager. Maybe you have a teenager that's just talking back, that's being exceptionally mouthy, or maybe even younger than a teenager. Or maybe you're here because you just, need some strategies to improve the relationship with your kid, and you really are having a hard time struggling because you're always telling them what to do and they're not listening, or they're just giving you a hard time, right? Like we hear this all the time.
Right.
So I want to start by saying that the relationship that you have with your child is your number one defense against your kids being destructive or making destructive decisions or engaging in behavior that would not be appropriate or healthy for them. So you have to do things that keep your relationship intact. And sadly, lecturing and yelling and screaming and grounding and punishing and all of those things really damage your relationship. Now, I'm not saying there shouldn't be consequences for things that aren't, appropriate or whatever. Of course there are. Of course there's always consequences. But just always bear in mind that the relationship that you have with your kid is most important. It's their defense against everything that's out there that's scary and dangerous and peer pressure and all that. But it's also your insurance that someday when they have grandbabies, they'll bring them home to visit. Because I don't know about you guys, but we want to be in our grandbabies' lives, right?
Yeah.
Not that we have any yet or are even ready yet, but someday I want my kids to have that relationship where they know that they can come home.
Yeah, and I think it's important to differentiate between a solid relationship, which is built on respect and trust and understanding, versus best friend relationship where your kids are walking all over you.
Yeah, no, we can't be best friends.
Yeah, you're giving them everything that they ask for,
And it's not also like militant compliance either.
Absolutely.
Just because your kid is doing every single thing that you tell them, that's not always a good thing either. Kids are naturally supposed to rebel. So we want to give them ways to rebel that
how do
are
you
safe.
handle that, right?
But we'll get into that on another video, right? So let's get into the too much sass, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So in the email that I sent out today that goes out just to our subscribers, and if you're not on that list, go to liveinspirednow.com and subscribe right now, because we send out some of our very best content
You
in
want
that
to be
weekly.
on that list.
Yeah, it's just one email a week. It's not a lot. And you're going to get a lot of stuff. And I love to give away free stuff sometimes too. So definitely be on that list at liveinspirednow.com. Just put in your name and email. It's super simple.
Who doesn't love free?
So the thing that I talked about today in my email was, are you willing? So instead of saying, this is one thing that you can do with your kids, and this works with spouses, it works with customers or clients, and even bosses. Instead of asking somebody something directly or telling them what to do or commanding, just say, are you willing?
Or would you be willing to?
Would you be
That's
willing
what I like to say.
Yeah. Thad, would you be willing to do this broadcast with me tonight? I know you're kind of tired, but would you be willing?
Do I look tired?
He said he was tired. And I gotta sit, I gotta sit on my foot there.
I know.
Okay, it's better.
I gotta
So asking somebody if they're willing, it takes all of that icky stuff off of the actual tasks, and ask them, they ask themselves, like, am I the type of person who's willing to help? Yes, I am. Maybe they'll say no, but you're more likely to get a lot of yeses if you ask it that way. Are you willing? So kids love that because it gives them a choice to show up. Kids want to prove how responsible they are and how much they can do, and they want to be helpful too. We don't often give them opportunities. Well, we do because we volunteer all the time, but
Right.
Parents often don't give their kids opportunities to volunteer and to show up and to be part of something bigger than themselves. So
Yeah, and it sounds funny that just a few little words, would you be willing to versus would you?
or do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you take out the trash?
Would
Sounds
you take out
like,
trash?
geez, would you do this? Like I've asked you 5 times. Would you just take
It's
out the
kinda
trash?
naggy, right?
Yeah. Versus, would you be willing to take out the trash for me? I mean, just those few different words. It sounds insignificant when you say it, even, but
But it means a world of difference.
I challenge every one of you: change your mindset and ask, would you be willing versus would you do?
Absolutely, and that goes a long way with spouses.
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely. Would you be willing to try that for a week?
Well, we do it all the time.
Just kidding.
But absolutely, I would be willing to do anything for you. And see how that is, like, would you take out the trash? Would you be willing to help me and take out the trash? Oh my God, I'd be willing to do anything for you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move on, because I promised myself that I was going to keep this to 20 minutes or less, because I'm a slightly bit under the weather. Okay, so parents, say yes more.
What?
Say yes more. And it's so easy to do. Instead of saying no all the time, say yes and just add the word and after it. So for example, Mom, can we go to the park? Instead of saying no, because you didn't do all the dishes, say yes. And as soon as the dishes are done, we'll go.
It's that easy,
It's that easy. We'll leave and we'll leave as soon as the dishes are done.
right?
There's no yelling, screaming, debating, whatever. If they want this, then they do that, and then we go. And you've said yes. You don't have to be the bad guy. You're not the
Yeah.
one saying no, and you need to do the dishes, and you need to get this done and that done, and no, I'm not taking you anywhere. You're saying, yes, absolutely we can go. As soon as the dishes are done, we'll go.
That takes a lot of practice, but I'll tell you what, the rewards are worth it. And it can go long term too. So, I mean, when your 13-year-old is asking to get a piercing or a tattoo or something, you can say yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When you're 18.
Right.
Yes, you may.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So the second thing I want to add to that little phrase is the word but. Get rid of your big butt. No big butts.
No big
No
butts
more
allowed.
big butts allowed. So there's no buts. Every single time you're inclined to to put in the word but, replace it with the word and. And I know that takes some practice. It took practice for me too. And I know you can handle it. I almost said but, you see? It can be challenging. So one of the examples that I have is, yes, we can go to the park, but you have to do the dishes first. So get rid of that but and say, yes, we can go to the park, and as soon as the dishes are done, we'll leave. It's really that simple, and it takes all the negativity out of everything, and it puts all of the action on the kid. Well, mom said yes, now I have to do my part. Right? So I know it seems so simple and so small, but trust me, practice this a little bit. You're going to be blown away at how
exciting
effective.
When you see the results.
Yeah, it's really effective.
It does take practice.
If you have to say no, give a reason, because because I said so is not a reason. Explain it.
So a good reason when you would say no is when they ask to do something that's going to put them in harm's way
or dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Can I go to a party where there's no adult supervision? No. And let me explain to you why. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, you can tell your kids no. And you're right, you don't have to. I can hear some people already, well, I don't have to give them a reason. I'm the parent. Yeah, that's true. But that's kind of a jerky thing to say. Like, how great would that be if your boss explained something?
And
you
remember,
want to no. Well, why not?
We're building relationships.
Exactly.
So when you say no and you give them a valid reason, and that valid reason, put it back on you. Make it about you. Be selfish. No, you can't go to the party because there's no adult supervision there, and I would worry about you the whole time.
Exactly. And you know what? That's actually a really good point. And that's not even on here, so thanks for bringing that up.
Sure. Sometimes I have great ideas all on my own.
You always have great ideas. Put the blame on you. So rather than saying, no, you're not responsible enough, say, no, you can't go because I would worry terribly. Because it's not you, it's me. I would worry. And I tell the kids that all the time. Because it's also true. But I worry all the time about them, right? So, I would worry about you, so I'm not going to let you go. So, a few more strategies. Be kinder than you've been treated. So, we have all had things in our lives, in our personal lives, as children growing up with our own parents, that maybe weren't awesome, right? Be kinder than you were treated. Be kinder than your parents were to you. And even if you had the best parents, be kinder than that. And this just goes across the board. If somebody is lashing out and being sassy, whether it's a kid or a spouse or a boss or a friend, there's a reason. Most people aren't total jerks. Maybe they are. Maybe you need to, take out the trash a little bit, get rid of some of the toxic people in your life. But if it's your kids, obviously, that's not the case. They're good people. They really are. They're just either haven't learned how to be more appropriate or they're hurting in some way. Be kinder than you've been treated. So if they treat you like garbage, I'm not saying to take it, never take it, but use it as an understanding that something's going on here, especially with kids. So, and then, I used this all the time.
This is a good one.
Yeah, this was one of my number one strategies that I use with my own kids. Speak softer so they have to quiet down to listen. Especially me, because I'm a really loud talker in general. Like, I just am loud, right? If your kids are being mouthy or loud or sassy or yelling,
that's
just
a good
quiet.
Pro tip for anyone that's in public speaking or teachers or even business leaders, where you're in a meeting and people start talking, the levels just keep going up and up and up. If you lower your level,
they have to lower to hear you.
It really makes a difference.
Exactly.
And you're setting the tone for the whole room.
That's exactly it. Well, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, and that is you as the parent, whether you're the mother or the father watching or a guardian or caregiver, you are responsible for the energy in your home.
It's true.
And we'll get into that in a second. But I want to whip through a couple of these. And I know we're going through it rather fast, but that's because I promised myself it would be under 20 minutes.
I want to share the next one.
Okay. And because I'd rather have a conversation with you. So if you need some additional tips or you don't understand something, send me a private message. Go ahead.
Yeah, so little tweaks in your wording. So here's a big one. Turn chores into responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
That gives them ownership of the task, right? So now they're contributing to the family and they have responsibilities, and to be a part of the family, they're responsible for those tasks.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't stand it when people say chores, and sometimes even I'll slip and say chores, but
Sure.
it's not chores. It's you're part of the family and you have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, so this goes back to speaking softly, right? I use this one all the time when my kids were little. I would say if they're freaking out or screaming or having a tantrum, I would just simply say, or if they're sassing back, which didn't happen a lot, but if it did, I would say, I'm sorry, I can't hear you when you speak to me that way.
I wish I knew that when my kids were little.
I mean, it's just that simple. I would look right at my kid and say, screaming, I'm sorry, I can't hear you when you talk to me that way, and walk away. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't hear that tone.
Case closed.
That's it. And if they're if they're in crisis and they're crying over a good reason, like they fell, obviously it's not something like that. We're talking about just being plain old sassy and disrespectful. Mama can't hear that.
Right.
Mama cannot hear that. I've also said, things like, I would really like to talk to you about this and see if we can come up with a solution. But I need you to come back to me when you can be a little bit more calm because I can't understand you this way.
And if you take out the but and make it an and.
Oh, yeah. See? It's hard. It's hard to do sometimes. But it really is effective.
Yeah.
And it really is
It
effective.
definitely is effective. So, I want to talk to you about this, and I think it would be better if we waited a little bit until you calm down.
He's the king of calm in our house, actually. He really is way better at it than I am. Okay, another thing that you can say if the kid is feeling particularly sassy, I'm not feeling very motivated to do that for you because of XYZ or whatever. So if a kid is acting badly, kids aren't bad. Kids only act bad sometimes, by the way. They're not bad. There are no bad kids. You can say, for example, all day long, Sally Sue has just been a sass fest, sassing off and being kind of jerky all day long. And then later that evening, can you drive me to my friends? I'm sorry, Sally Sue. I'm not feeling very motivated to do that for you because you've been exceptionally mean to me all day. Explain what the consequences are.
Right.
If that's like real world consequences. If you're a jerk to some of your friends, they're not going to be friends with you anymore.
Yeah.
And if you're a jerk to mom, I'll still love you and I'll always be your mom. But guess what? I don't want to spend extra time with you, so no, I'm not going to drive you over to your friend's house. Sorry, I'm not feeling very motivated to give you that extra $20 this weekend because you've been really mean to me. And I'm sorry, but that's just how it works. You're mean to me and I don't feel like doing nice things back.
Yeah.
I'll still feed you and love you because you're my kid, but I'm not going to do all these great things when you've been mean. That's just natural consequences. That's how the world works, kid.
Simple.
And so one of the last things that I want to talk about is sharing your calm. Now, I just already told everyone that you're the king of calm in our house. I can manage it mostly on most days, but not always. But this guy, oh my gosh. I have never met anyone, seriously, I have never met anyone more chill in my life than my husband.
Thanks.
He's awesome. Like, he's my rock for sure.
The king of chill.
The king of chill, yeah. So share your calm. Whether it's turning on some ambient music, sit down, put away your phone, put away your electronics, stop rushing, just say, you know what, we're going to be late to soccer tonight, whatever, but you've got to take control of the energy in your home. It's up to you. Your kids aren't going to do it. Maybe your spouse won't do it. Maybe you have a spouse that will help you do it. I don't know. But your surroundings take control, right? Everyone in the house will meet you where you're at because you're the parent, so you're kind of like the hub.
Right,
Like,
that's worth restating, that you determine the energy for the whole household. So
Right.
if you're go like a ping pong ball, everyone else is going to follow suit. They're going to be on edge. They're not going to be happy with the situation, and it's going to put them on edge as well. So
yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, like, I've been with friends or even in the store once, you know, somebody's freaking out, the kid's freaking out, the mom's freaking out, and I'll just walk over and squat down and really quietly, hi, how are you? What's going on? You know, and you just share your calm with them, and then they get, you know, have permission to start being calm as well.
right.
It's absolutely amazing how energy works like that. It really does.
Yeah.
So no more rushing. No more, I got to just check the phone, the email, the dog, the this, the that, the radio, the weather. Like, just stop. Stop, sit down, take a breath. If you're rushing in the morning, get up 10 minutes earlier. I'm not talking about hours earlier. None of this 3 hours early, make the lunches the night before, lay out the outfits. Just get up a little bit earlier so that you have some breathing time,
Right.
right?
Yeah, a good way to practice and see that in action is when your spouse or partner comes home, and you're back together again at home. If you have soft music playing and you greet them with a smile and things like that, versus
And a kiss.
yeah, and a kiss,
And a hug.
right?
And a hi, I'm so glad you're home. We do this. This is our
Yeah.
routine. Like, whenever one of
Right.
us, whoever's out, when we walk
So
in.
that opposed to the opposite of, you know, as soon as they walk in the door, you know,
Oh my God, I
things-
gotta go. You're late. Here's
Yeah.
the kid. I didn't feed them. Here's the laundry. Da, 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 da.
yeah,
That's the worst.
What
Who
a
the hell
difference
wants
it
to come
makes.
home to that? And even if you have to do all those things, you don't have to do it the second. I mean, unless the house is on fire or
Right.
the kid needs to get to the emergency room, there's nothing that needs to happen in that
right.
instant.
And those first 5 minutes really determine the outcome of the whole rest of your time together for that day.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how that is. Have you ever walked into a meeting at work and everyone's all like tense and freaking out, like, oh shit, the boss is coming, we're all dead. You instantly feel horrible.
Right.
But if you walk into a room, walk into the spa or the nail salon or any place like that you find very comforting, and it's quiet, it's relaxing, there's waterfalls, there's peaceful music, there's somebody to say, hi, how are you? Would you like a glass of water?
I think you all need to go by waterfalls.
The spa is my place. That's oh
your
God,
people.
I just love it. Yeah. Dave Albin, our friend Dave Albin did a video today where he stopped along the side of the road. I think he was actually under a bridge, which is funny. He was down by the river under a bridge, and he
And he
stopped.
drives a van.
He did. He does. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Anyway, he stopped and he made a Facebook Live video of himself putting his feet in the water and just sitting there by the water and letting the cold water run over his feet and just taking some time to relax and enjoy it, because that's his place. That's his happy place, you know? For me, it wouldn't be ice cold water. It'd be definitely at the spa getting a pedicure. But
For us
whatever.
upstate New Yorkers, I do not recommend that for
The cold water on your feet.
a few months.
What is your spa time? Tractor time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
On
you
the
know,
lawnmower, the tractor.
it's different for everybody, but, you know, Thad likes to go out and drive the tractor around the property or mow the lawn or whatever. I mean, totally weird. I would never do that, but that's the difference between us, right?
Yeah.
You know, so the point is, though, if you want less sass, stop being so sassy yourself. You know, bring your calm, share your calm in your household. Your kids are going to be as chill as you are. Your kids are going to be as stressed out as you are. Your kids are going to be as anxious as you are. Whatever you are, your kids are too going to be, unless you break that cycle. So break the cycle of rushing, break the cycle of not greeting each other warmly when you walk through the door. Do that with your kids too. Stop what you're doing and say, hey, how was your day? How was school? How'd you make out with this project? Or how was drama club or whatever? Just stop and have a conversation. I mean, it seems so simple, but it's so like just not done anymore.
Yeah, you all are right there. It's these little tweaks and
Just
adjustments that
little tiny tweaks.
make the difference.
Yeah, and you know, I am so blessed. I am so blessed to have, and I'll just talk about my biological kids, not my step kids or the foster kids or anything, but because I can take full 100% credit for these three. I am so blessed to have the most amazing relationship with my three kids. I love them, they love me, we're all so close, and it's because I built that relationship with them. You know, I don't care about their grades, I don't care about this or that, but the relationship that I have with them has always been the priority. And because of it, you know, we have this great thing. So your relationship is your best asset.
Yeah.
For your kids.
It's never too late to start, but when your kids are younger, when your kids are younger, is even better.
You got a big butt.
Yeah, I got a big butt in there. The more time that you spend investing in that relationship early on, this is like anything else, a business. If you put a little effort in at the beginning, it goes a long way. Versus a lot of effort over the long haul takes a lot more
like
effort.
that. What are the three levels of business? It's either you're a hobbyist, you're an amateur, or you're an expert.
Right.
And that's the same thing in parenting. Are you a hobby parent? Do you see your kids now and then? Are you just kind of half-ass parenting? Or are you an amateur parent, you know, where you're kind of in there, but you're not, and you're there a lot, but you're not really learning. You're not learning from the experts. You're not asking questions. You're not growing as a parent. Or do you want to be an expert parent? Now notice I'm saying expert, but not perfect, because there are no perfect parents. But you absolutely can be an expert by learning and growing, not by doing everything perfectly or even doing everything right. Because trust me, I've made so many. We should do a whole talk just on that. All the mistakes I've made as a parent.
That'd be a long one for me.
It would be a long one for anybody because everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But show up, learn how to do it, ask questions, you know, ask questions of, we've actually sat down with Pat and EJ, right? Mm-hmm. With an older couple that we admire and said, hey, you know what do you credit to the longevity of a relationship? You've been married for 40 years. What are your secrets? We'll sit down and ask people things. We read books constantly. We watch webinars. We subscribe to the favorite people. I have mentors and coaches of my own. You know, learn and grow. It's really where you invest your time is where you see the payoffs.
Yeah, it's all about immersion, right? So whatever you give attention to, that grows. Right. And to be an expert, you have to immerse yourself in it. So if you want to be an expert parent, you've got to immerse yourself in those relationships with your kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's very rewarding, I'll tell you. It really is.
And it's easy, right? We just gave, 3, 4 minor tweaks, right?
I know, a whole bunch of tweaks, and there's so many more, gazillions more. So if you need help, if you're struggling in any way, please reach out to me or my husband, or both of us. We're happy to talk to you together too. So go to liveinspirednow.com, put in your name and your email address, subscribe to our weekly email. It comes out once a week. It's not spammy, just one time. And we would love to hear from you. So hopefully these tips will alleviate some of the sass and give you a few more yes ma'ams or yes sirs in your life. It really is possible. If you start younger, it's way easier. If you start now, it's not impossible, but you'll definitely need some support to hang in there. So if you don't have a spouse or you can't get your spouse on board, make sure you have a support system or hire a coach. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a message, and just keep plugging away, because really your kids are the most important thing in your whole entire life. Trust me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us. I hope
this was fun.
Yeah, right? I hope that if you have any questions, you'll reach out. Again, liveinspirednow.com. send us a message, email, text, whatever. It's all on the website, liveinspirednow.com. Thank you. Happy
you soon.
parenting. I know, right? Have a great night. I'm going to go, like, he's tired, so I'm going to go lay down too, because I'm tired too. All right, can you reach that button?
Sure.
Good
See ya.
night.